Hey folks, this week's video covers one of the biggest mistakes traders make with support and resistance, which we use all the time in our trading. Far too many traders believe that if price reaches resistance, it's just time to sell, or if it reaches support, it's time to buy. That's not trading, that's guessing. Professional traders don't make decisions because price has arrived at a level. They wait for evidence that tells them whether a trade is actually worth taking. And that's exactly what Darko is going to show you in this clip from this week's one of his pre-market analysis videos. And he'll walk you through a currency pair that might be setting up for a short trade. You can keep an eye on it and see what happens. But he explains why it's still too early to act. This is the kind of thinking that helps remove confusion, reduces emotional decision making, and gives you a repeatable process instead of jumping from one idea to the next. Whether you're trading off of a 15-minute chart or a daily chart, doesn't matter. The process is the same, identical. I like trading off 15-minute charts, actually, and I use the very same approach. Okay, here's Darko.
So the next one is AJ. We are at weekly resistance. Okay, we are at weekly resistance, but buyers are still in control. It's super important. I just posted a selfie video on social media about just knowing, just because price hits resistance, that doesn't mean you just enter. No, because if price hits resistance and buyers are in control, there is nothing to do. Okay, so I'm marking this level just to give you a heads up that things might be changing. We are at resistance. Sure, our long-term, like the position trading mindset, we are looking for a day trading ourselves into a swing trade at a level of support. This level makes super sense. You see that super clearly. Okay, we are here, tested here. So it is between the 50 and the 618 fib. The fib is just the fib. Okay. The support and resistance is what we are doing. We are trading pure price action. So that's a level to watch long term. Okay. And by the way, these lows are lower than these lows, and this high is higher than this high, something that we look for on our entry time frame. And you see the exact same thing on daily. Sometimes you see that on a weekly, monthly, even on a yearly. Okay, so because the market is fractured, whatever happens on a yearly happens all the time frames. Okay, so that is our long term. So far so good. But if price presents itself properly, that means sellers are in, because this is a level, this is a significant neckline. If price presents itself properly, that means sellers will be in control. Okay, without hitting any legit opposing levels, because overall this has been heading up very strongly. There is a very strong buying momentum on a monthly chart, which is our higher time frame. Okay, so that means I'm not interested in a shorting opportunity in case we hit the tops of the weekly swing, but also the daily swing. Why? Because opposing levels, we have that in consideration when we are trading against the trend. Okay, when we are trading with the trend, we don't care about opposing levels unless they are like identical, maybe yearly, monthly identical, or monthly, weekly identical. So write that down if that is new information for you. So if price gives us a swing break without touching or getting close to this opposing level, there might be a shorting opportunity. When I say it might be, it depends how it presents itself, and this is an alert service. That means I tell you if you should pull the trigger, if that is within your game plan. Okay, so I will let you know, because when I wake up, the first thing I'm doing is watching my charts. And actually, let's just mark this as yellow, because I watch my yellow marked first before going through the entire 29 pairs. Because if I don't mark them yellow, it takes me a while to go through 29 pairs, and by the time I'm done, the trade might be over. So this is just a heads up for me that if I mark something yellow, that's the first thing I watch before doing the other pairs. Okay, and you can have the same rules for yourself. Just copy whatever I say, whatever I think, whatever I tell you that I'm thinking, and how I interpret charts, and it should be helping you along the way, puzzle by puzzle, like step by step. Even if it's baby steps, small baby steps in 1 year is very much like more than you can ever imagine. Okay, so that's our game plan for Aussie Yen.
So this is exactly how Darko approaches every market in his pre-market analysis videos. It's never about predicting what price will do next, because, who knows. It's about following a professional process that tells you when there's a valid opportunity and when the highest probability trade is simply to wait. Waiting, make no mistake about it, waiting is a valid position. All right? If you're feeling overwhelmed, you're second guessing your trades, jumping from system to system, or you're never quite sure what you should be looking for each day, that's usually a sign that you're missing a structured process. So, if you'd like to see how Darko analyzes the markets each week and prepares trades before they happen, you might want to check out his alert service where he shows all of this stuff in advance. I think you'll find it, just a very different approach from what most traders are used to. Alrighty, thanks so much for listening in, everyone. Have a great weekend. See you next week.